Ron on TV, man. This is sickness, man. Um, I want to talk to the brothers, the young guys, the young brothers, and even guys my age and a little bit younger. Listen, as men, we all have thought with our private parts, and the lust of our eyes, with a woman's body and whatnot. We all guilty of that. I completely understand. And I've done that. I'm guilty of it, lusting a woman just because of her body and whatnot, and all that too. I'm no different from that. But I want to tell y'all something, man. Y'all young guys, start rejecting these women that's just on some HOE stuff. Start and stop messing with these women because of their bodies. Start examining who they are as a person. Because this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna go to these other races of people behaving the way that they behave with us and thinking that they can be wise. See, they think they can go to another race of men and be the same way that they are with us and become a husband and I mean not become a husband, but become a wife. And they can't because they're not gonna accept that behavior because it don't fit their culture and how they came up. See, all women don't understand that we were brought up to accept all the things that all their deficiencies we were taught to accept because they were our mothers, our aunties, and whatnot. And we accepted those things because we love them. We understand them. These other people don't understand them. Now, that was one thing with like people like my mother and aunties, see, but they were real women. So they didn't have to go, to another race. But these girls that's coming up now, they're not even real women. So so once you become a man and say, you know what, I ain't putting up with this, they gonna go somewhere else. They're gonna say, well, I can go over here and do, and they're gonna get sent back after they get finished after they get through with them, they gonna send them back. And they're gonna realize when it's too late, oh, I should have changed the way that I am as a woman. And I'm telling you, y'all young brothers, y'all got the power in y'all hands to change it by rejecting. Stop co-signing. Stop being online with your girl, letting her show her behind and all that online. Stop co-signing that, bro. Say, nah, I ain't with that. It's only so many dudes. She might say you lame, that first dude, but even the second or third dude. But when they get to the fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th man saying, why you got to show your body online? Why I don't want to mess with that. I don't want to be with nobody that got to keep putting themselves out there like that. She gonna have to reevaluate herself. It's up to us as men to make to make these women reevaluate themselves. As far as the HOE culture that's been that's being pushed out here for them to follow. I got a 4-year-old daughter, man. I can't act like I don't think about what she gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a man. I'm a natural man, just like any other man. I fall victim to a woman and my own lust, just like any other man. I'm not gonna get on here and talk like that. I'm not talking like that. But I'm not also gonna get on here and talk like I'm a father. And I look at my little girl and I think about what's the future for her and what's her role models outside of her mother. She got a good mother, as far as role model for her to be as a woman. So that's cool. But I also know that at some point she's gonna be influenced by things other than that. And trying to find herself, she may listen to that more than what her mama told her. So it can't just be that. Um, and for you young guys, man, listen, one day y'all gonna have kids and they ain't all gonna be boys. And you gonna look at your little girl and you ain't gonna want her to be that girl that you were messing with wherever ever. You ain't gonna want her to be that. So don't co-sign with it now. And believe me, I'm not faulting y'all. I'm not faulting nobody because I know we don't think about that in at the time. You know, you thinking with your private part. I get it, but start thinking with your mind in the future because you might bring a little girl into this world and you ain't gonna want her to be none of that. So start fighting against it before you bring her into this world. Do not co-sign this HOE behavior from the women. Because if you make a little girl, you ain't gonna want her to be none of that at all. You gonna want her to be an upstanding woman. You gonna want her to be a loving woman. You gonna want her to be something you gonna want to be proud of. So obviously, people been just raising their kids all the way up to this point. Obviously, that ain't enough. So you got to do something about the culture and what's out here and what's being pushed to these girls. It ain't just about making your child something. Because if it was, then we'd be fine. Because there's plenty of people doing that. But it's obviously a lot more people not. Um, yeah, man. Fight that. Stop co-signing it. Reject reject your private part and think with your head and for the future for a future young lady that you might be responsible for bringing into this world. And I ain't talking as a dude that's not guilty of fornication. I fornicated with women I ain't been married to. I ain't knocking y'all. I know it's hard. The lust for a woman's flesh is one of the most hardest temptations a man can face. But if you care about your niece, your daughter, your little cousin, then consider this, man. Don't get mad when they mess with the dude that do them over, that doing wrong, you know, and you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. And once again, I'm just a man, just like any other man. I ain't on no craziness, but I lust for the flesh of a woman just like anybody else. So I can't get on here and talk crazy. But I was just looking at my little girl and I'm like, man, I don't want her to be this or I don't want her to be that. And I thought about it like, man, we co-sign a lot of this stuff. I see a lot of dudes online, they with their girl with their shorts up they behind and like you standing there next to her. Like, no wonder they think this is okay. Like you got too many dudes that's down with it, that's right there with it. Like I seen a dude, a female said she messed with her boyfriend's mom. And he said he called it gangster. He said, I mess with you, you gangster. And we wonder why women misguided because you got men co-signing the behavior. They co-signing it. So they think it's okay. We ain't even talking about just the rebellious ones that just don't wanna listen to no man in general. But the ones that may be unsure, you confirm it when you co-sign it and say, yeah. Like, but then you have a little girl or you got a little cousin and then she get pregnant and the dude don't treat her right and you want to go jump on him. You can't go jump on him. You can't go jump on your daughter, dude boyfriend that left her or did her wrong when you been out here co-signing all kind of foolishness. How can you turn around and get mad when it's the life that you co-sign? He just doing the same thing you was co-signing. And see, you got to be real enough with yourself to say that. We ain't being real. Like, nah, man, I can't co-sign it if I don't want it to happen to my little girl. I can't co-sign it if I don't want it to happen to my niece. I can't co-sign it if I don't want to happen to my cousin. I can't co-sign, whatever. I can't co-sign if I don't want it to happen to my friend. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. So I'm not saying I'm a great man. I'm just saying I'm thinking. Brown on Show on TV.